Hi, one forum news brings you the best. Please kindly subscribe to this channel. Your comment and all likes will be highly appreciated. Yes, we are going to our own MK party as well as the JSC, that's the Judicial Service Committee of the Parliament of South Africa. Yes, they are loggerhead, they are fighting it and trashing out issues right in the court of competent jurisdiction. Yes, what is happening in court now? We reported to you somewhere last week or some days ago that Dr. Hlophe, yes, the leader of the MK party in the Parliament of South Africa, have been disqualified or has been disqualified successfully from the Judicial Service Committee in the Parliament of South Africa. But the party, together with Dr. Hlophe, they are not so happy about that. So they've taken the case back to court. That is the full ruling. They want interpretation, full interpretation of the ruling. And also, they are demanding that the court should put an interdiction or they should suspend whatever that the Judicial Service Committee of the Parliament of South Africa is supposed to do. You may have already heard that they are supposed to vet some people or conduct some interview for some people next week. But now the leadership of the MK party and Dr. Hlophe, they have instructed their lawyers, no, they have to file for an urgent application. Yes, urgent motion. That was exactly what they did. So now they have to look at the technicalities of the application as well as the merit of the case. So they are arguing that no, there is no way that their man, we are talking about Dr. Hlophe, can just be disqualified like that and taken out of the Judicial Service Committee of the Parliament of South Africa. They raise some issues here. The main issues that the lawyers are raising is not the duty of the party in the government, that is the DA or the ANC, to decide for them whoever they want to place on a committee of the Parliament of South Africa. Yes, that is the argument that they are raising. And they also argue that it's not a duty of any non-governmental organization to put or decide for them who they put on any committee. He also argued, I'm talking about one of the lawyers of the MK party, argued that it seems this man, that is Dr. Hlophe, have been slaughtered for far so long and been maligned all the time, and they don't want him to take any political or any position again in the party or in the country called South Africa. And it's not so good for him. As they battle it out, the case is still going on, and we hope and pray that the outcome will come successfully, either left or right, that is in favor of the MK party or the opposing people. I'm talking about the DA and some other non-governmental organization that don't want Dr. Hlophe to be on the Judicial Service Committee of the Parliament of South Africa. Yeah, this whole issue, we will take a look at what is going on in the court as well as what is going on outside the court. Let's take a critical look at it. Now, their argument may be based on some issues or some facts, but also the argument of the other people, that's the MK party, will also be based on some facts. But let us take a look at what they are calling for now. The first one that they are calling for is the interpretation. When the court rule in your favor or against you, and something is not clear or there is some level of ambiguity in the ruling, you are at liberty to go back to the court and ask them for proper interpretation of the full ruling. And that is the right of these people. I'm talking about Dr. Hlophe and his lawyers as well as the MK party. Yes, the second thing is they are saying that the common law requirement for an interim interdiction has to be looked at also by the court. The court, in its wisdom, have to decide for them or interpret for them exactly what the common law is saying. That is basically what they are requesting for. And the lawyer for Dr. Hlophe and the MK party, they are also arguing that they are not trying to interdict whatever the process of the Judicial Service Committee entirely or for a long time or forever. It's just for a moment so that the substantive case of Dr. Hlophe being disqualified or not qualified to be on the Judicial Service Committee, that case is decided before they can go on. So there is no need for them to take any action or for the committee to decide on anything or interview anybody when it comes to the Judicial Service of South Africa. That is all that they are arguing over. And most of these things, when you look at it critically, is based on an ethical and morality. It's not any other thing, but the laws must also work. But looking at it critically, you can see that this is about the court is trying to impugn. This is the argument of the lawyers. It's as if the court is trying to impugn the power and the authority of the National Assembly of South Africa. When it comes to National Assembly or Parliament of any other country, they are masters of their own rule. They decide what they want to do. They have their own rules and set of rules. But sadly, when it comes to the nationwide thing, it's something that everybody is under the constitution of the country, for that matter, that of South Africa. Yes. So the court would definitely pass judgment, whatever the that's the National Assembly decide, the court can overturn it, as it overturned with the decision of the National Assembly when they voted and put in place and also voted for Dr. Hlophe to be member of the National, that is the Judicial Service Committee. But the court said that no, he is disqualified, he is not supposed to be on the Judicial Service because he was impeached in the past. That was the argument that the DA and their lawyers and some other non-governmental organization raised for him to be out of that Judicial Service Committee. But these people, I'm talking about the MK party, together with their lawyers, they are not taking this line low. They want to fight it to the end. They want full interpretation of the first ruling, as well as they want certain things to be put in place, and the committee interdicted, or the committee has to be put on hold. They don't have to do anything until the substantive case of Dr. Hlophe, qualify or not qualify to be on that board. In different, or in another hand also, that is the earlier part of the week, something happened, some dramatic happened when they went to court. Yes, the defense lawyers, or those that are against the MK party, they're arguing that no, even the regalia, I'm quoting Dr. Hlophe verbatim here, the regalia, or the things that they were wearing, the party paraphernalia and the things that they are wearing, seems to be causing some level of intimidation to the opponent, that is the people that took them to court, or the people that they've taken to court for the case to be heard. Yes, so because they appeared in their regalia, that is party uniform dresses, he even made some turnovers for us to see if whatever that is wearing is something that someone to be afraid of. So they, in a way, they ridicule whatever that those people were arguing. But when it comes to political cases, things like this happen. You have to make your point for you to get an adjournment or some favorable ruling. So that was exactly what is going on. But the issue is, all these things can be resolved when they actually judge you. But it's as if there is some level of hatred. Yeah, you can take a look at it, you can look at it critically. There is some level of hatred, but it's all based on the things that Dr. Hlophe also did in the past, or the issues that they raised before he was successfully sacked or fired out of the judiciary. Yeah, he was a judge, a full judge, and he's a man that is well accomplished. He's the man fit for the JSC, that is the Judicial Service Committee. But sadly, the DA, together with some other non-governmental organizations, they don't want him to be a member or to be on that panel. Yeah, he's one guy that will do a very perfect job when it comes to the minority in the parliament. That's the Progressive Caucus in the Parliament of South Africa. That's why they nominated him. Yes, as the thing is, or as it is the minority party that decide who represent them on any committee of the Parliament of South Africa. It's not the government or whoever in the party in government or any non-governmental organization that's supposed to do that. But unfortunately, the first ruling was that he is not qualified to be on the committee based on the facts available to them. So now we are all waiting for the next ruling also, that is based on what they are arguing, that they want interpretation of the first ruling, whether these people can go on or not go on, based on the interdiction of interdiction of the committee for them not to continue with whatever process or things that they're supposed to do next week. We hope and pray that favorable judgment will come. But whether right or left, whatever it is, they have to judge and come to an agreement so that that's the National Assembly can move on, especially the Judicial Service Committee of South Africa can move on. Even in the past, without him, it was moving on, but now he's there and he has to justify his own inclusion. That's exactly what he's doing. So we leave the decision, that's the adjudication, to the court to decide. But let it be very favorable so that either party, whether for or against, will be happy. There is no need for us to pass or make any prejudicial comment on this, but we can only simplify whatever that these people are calling for. So it is, and for the record, it is an urgent application. Let's see whether it will qualify to be an urgent application or not, and their things that they are calling for will be heard and considered. For more about issues and discussions like this, please kindly subscribe to this channel. One Forum is for the best when it comes to politics of Africa and historical antecedents, for the best when it comes to crime as well as security. We'll be here to analyze and simplify everything for you. Please, your comments and your likes will be highly appreciated, because that is what we count on all the time. Always subscribe to this channel, One Forum News. Thank you so much.